Hey guys, this is your host Thomas Tyree here from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. The bonus content we'll be covering today will be in the sport of football inside the NFL world. In today's bonus segment, I'll be sharing my NFL mock draft 1.0. So, leading up to the NFL draft, I'll have way more mock drafts for you guys. That's just a small glimpse of what I see in the future of picks 1 through 5 for this upcoming 2025 NFL draft. Starting off with number 1, I think Cam Ward, quarterback from the Miami Hurricanes, will be the first overall pick being drafted by the Tennessee Titans in the 2025 NFL draft. I just feel like the Titans desperately need a quarterback that's a franchise quarterback that's going to help shape and reform and retool this team to where they want to be a contending team again in the AFC. Quarterbacks like Malik Willis and Will Levis have not worked out for them in the last few years. 2, the Browns will select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback from Colorado. This is one of the best quarterbacks in the draft class. The Browns desperately need to get their hands on a quarterback to help change around the culture again in Cleveland. They have been desperate, searching for answers to see who will finally be the chosen one. In terms of being a franchise quarterback for Cleveland, they get it with Shedeur Sanders. 3, the New York Giants get the next best player that's available on the board that's not a quarterback, that being Travis Hunter. I think Travis Hunter could definitely change around the culture for the New York Giants on the defensive side of the ball, possibly be a lockdown cornerback in the future. 4, I have the Patriots selecting Will Campbell, offensive lineman from LSU. Drake May is going to need some protection in the pocket moving forward. And I think Will Campbell can fit the bill for them. 5, the Jaguars. I had them getting Mason Graham, D-tackle from Michigan. This could change, but I think Mason Graham could be a great defensive player on the defensive line, being a difference maker for a Jacksonville Jaguars team that lacks defensive star power and needs some star power on the defensive side of the ball. So those are my top 5 picks for the NFL, for my NFL mock draft 1.0. Let's go into a deeper dive why I have these picks at this current time. So again, first overall pick would be Cam Ward, quarterback from the Miami Hurricanes, had a sensational year, made the great decision of not going to the NFL draft in 2024, recommitting to playing in college, and went into the transfer portal to play for the Miami Hurricanes this college football season. And he had a tremendous year, was in the Final Four voting with guys like Dillon Gabriel, Travis Hunter, and Ashton Jeanty in terms of being a Heisman finalist this year in college football. Cam Ward had an outstanding year with the Miami Hurricanes, had over 4,000 yards passing, had 39 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I see why he would be the first overall pick based on what I've seen on film. He's got the strong arm. He's a playmaker, plays well in clutch situations. That's everything you want in a franchise quarterback. He has the confidence to go out there and win you ball games. I think this is where the Titans where they want to be. First overall pick. You get the chance to get your franchise quarterback. The pick is in the palm of your hands. Where they could go the Cam Ward route or the Shedeur Sanders route. I think Cam Ward would be a better fit in Nashville with the Tennessee Titans. And for them, you can't fumble this first overall pick because you don't know when you're going to get the first overall pick, no matter how bad you're going to be. You might as well get your hands on a quarterback when the opportunity presents itself now. Because the Titans haven't had any success at the position since Ryan Tannehill was there. And the 2019-2020 playoff run where the Titans knocked off were true underdogs. They went on the road and knocked off Tom Brady and Foxborough. That ended up being Tom Brady's final game with the New England Patriots. Then Ryan Tannehill knocked off the Baltimore Ravens when Lamar Jackson won his first MVP. They went all the way to the AFC Championship and failed against the Chiefs. But ever since then, they haven't had any success at the position. Malik Willis, who they got in the later rounds of 2022, flopped and failed. He's not even with the franchise anymore. Will Levis was benched by Mason Rudolph at points of this year. They can't pass on the position, and an opportunity presents itself. I think Cam Ward is the perfect pick for the Tennessee Titans at number 1. Now, the Browns going after Shedeur Sanders. Now, I think this makes the most overall sense because the Browns have been cursed. They've been going in and out of quarterbacks from Baker Mayfield to Deshaun Watson, Jameis Winston. I can't even name all the quarterbacks that they have went through over the years. There has not been a stable franchise quarterback for the franchise since Baker Mayfield was there. And they quit on him pretty early, to be honest, because look at what Baker's doing in the second half, the beginning part of his second half of his NFL career. But the Browns need a quarterback desperately. And the Deshaun Watson experiment has definitely failed. He actually re-ruptured his Achilles, and his 2025 season is basically up in smokes. It's probably not going to happen. So you're looking at a 2026 return for Deshaun Watson. By that time, he's already regressed. He doesn't read defense as well anymore. That Deshaun Watson that you guys seen with the Houston Texans in his early days are well gone, and those glory days are behind us. He's an injury-prone quarterback, always misses time, whether it's for injuries or things that are for the wrong reasons. So you guys know what I'm talking about. But this Browns team has some talent there. I mean, they still got Myles Garrett. Jared Jeudy was just a first-time Pro Bowler, very young, athletic wide receiver that they got from the Denver Broncos this year. Denzel Ward is a lockdown cornerback, just made the Pro Bowl list. There's still some talent there, and Nick Chubb, if his knee can recover and get back, if he could get back to somewhat being that bell cow back that the Browns have had for years, this is a perfect landing spot for Shedeur Sanders. Plus, a team would build around him. And for the future of the Browns, they're going to need a quarterback to compete in this AFC North division that has Lamar Jackson, that has Joe Burrow. These two guys are going to continue to be in this division for as long as they can and possibly retire with those respective teams. But Shedeur Sanders would be the perfect pick here. I mean, he's a leader. He's just got a strong arm. He's cocky. He's arrogant. He's got the swagger. He can deliver in clutch situations. What is there not to like about Shedeur Sanders? And the thing is, he had a terrible offensive line with Colorado playing at the top tier level in college football for the last 2 years and was still putting up spectacular numbers and helped Colorado to help change around the culture in Colorado for the better. So I like everything I see from Shedeur Sanders right now until something changes or catches my eye on film, on tape, watching him. I just believe he's the best quarterback heading into the draft, but I think he'll land 2 to the Cleveland Browns. Now, 3, Giants getting Travis Hunter. This eliminates the fact that, yes, the Titans, Browns, and Giants desperately need a quarterback, but I don't see the Browns or the Titans giving up those first and second picks. Therefore, the Giants unfortunately miss out on the sweepstakes of getting a quarterback, which is not the end of the world because they would get the best play, arguably the best player in this draft, that being Travis Hunter. Now, Travis Hunter, it would be a difference maker for this New York Giants team. I think the Giants are realistically a quarterback away from being a contending team again in the NFC, especially the NFC East. But you get a star player like Travis Hunter, a Heisman Trophy winner, possibly could be a lockdown cornerback within the next 2 to 3 years in the National Football League. That is something that you want as a cornerstone piece for this New York Giants team. I'm not sure. Maybe he can play two sides, be a two-way player in the NFL. Not on every single down, every single snap. I don't see that happening. But in pivotal moments, you need him to play wide receiver. You can put him out there, corner. I think he would be a great pick. And the Giants' best scenario this offseason, you get Travis Hunter with the 3rd overall pick. You don't trade out of this pick. You get Travis Hunter. And you possibly try to go after some quarterbacks that could be available this offseason. Possibly sign Sam Darnold. Pay attention to that situation, whether Minnesota's going to give him the bag or not. And if they give him the bag, possibly call Minnesota up and trade for J.J. McCarthy. They were really interested in him last draft, but Malik Nabers was the right pick. Or Justin Fields. Somebody can fit the bill to be the quarterback, not for the sake of future, but something that could be a upgrade or for be a placeholder for things to come if you get Travis Hunter with the 3rd overall pick. Hell, you could get Travis Hunter in the 3rd overall pick and then double dip back into the draft when you pick again in the 2nd round, and possibly Jackson Dart, quarterback from Ole Miss, is there. And then you get Travis Hunter and Jackson Dart with your first 2 picks in the draft. So we'll see, but it's not the end of the world if the Giants get arguably the best player in this draft. Now, 4, with the Patriots drafting Will Campbell, offensive lineman from LSU. Now, by this time, this is just a mock draft 1.0. By this time, in the next 3 to 4 months, the Patriots might be thinking defensive side of the ball, and they go for the defensive pick in April. But I just think that Drake May is going to need some protection up front. I think he's the guy for the Patriots. I think they're going to build around him. But you got to have your quarterback protected. You got to have an insurance policy to make sure he's protected, thrown in the pocket. So I think this pick would be beneficial for the Patriots getting the best offensive lineman in the draft, I think this is the pick that they should go in. And last but not least would be the Jaguars. Once again, getting Mason Graham. Now, if you look at this Jaguars roster, we're going to see who's to become the next head coach, but you look at a talent standpoint, offense really isn't the problem. I mean, Trevor Lawrence is, in my opinion, decent. Travis Etienne at running back. You still have Brian Thomas, who was one hell of a wide receiver in his rookie year. Evan Ingram at tight end. Christian Kirk. There's still some talent on this offensive side. It's the defense that really doesn't have anything to really play with. There's no star power there. I think Mason Graham being a really good defensive tackle from the days that he showed us Michigan in college, I think he could be a player that could stop the run, be a difference maker in the front seven for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this would be a position that they should go for, or they should go for a defensive player with the 5th overall pick. We'll see how their cards play out in April. But that is my current NFL mock draft 1.0. That is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off. And I'll see you guys on next week's episode.